It is amazing how something as simple as consistency, which, by the way, is one of the greatest secrets, or should I say keys, to success, is something we all struggle with. Welcome to Faithlicious and Friends. My name is Faith, but yes, as always, I'd prefer you called me Faithlicious. So good to be back. So good to be here with you. You know, I like hanging out with you guys, right? Well, please, if you haven't already, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Yes, please do subscribe. And of course, show the sister some love. Hit the thumbs up button. And don't forget to hit the little bell by the side. It's a little notification bell. Yeah, just hit that up. That way you never, ever miss a video. You never miss anything we put out here on Faithlicious and Friends, okay? And thank you all for sticking around. Thank you for being friends. So, real quickly, I was chatting with a friend, and we were talking about one of the videos that we put out earlier. If you missed it, on procrastination, go check it out. Amazing. And one of the terms, or should I say one of the words that kept coming up was consistency. Consistency. So I thought, you know, let's discuss this. Not just about consistency, but I'm a strong believer in when you know the why. Having your why sets the ball rolling. So when you have you understand the reason, you know the why, you can move forward. So I thought today let's look at the reason most of us, the reason you and I struggle with consistency. Are you ready for the answer? I don't think you're ready. Are you sure you're ready? Well, if you are, stick around because we'll be right back with that answer and more after this break.
This was done in partnership with the Storyteller Company, telling stories, changing lives.
Reasons why we struggle to be consistent. Well, should I say reasons why you and I struggle to be consistent? Are you ready for the answer? Okay, I promised that I'd give you the answer when we go back, so here it is. We struggle to be consistent because we are focused on the outcome rather than the process. Now, am I saying the outcome isn't important? No, of course not. The outcome is important. It's not unimportant. But if we become fixated on the outcome, it usually would work against us, no matter how compelling. And that's because any outcome compelling enough to excite you would probably be one that you can't achieve without hard work and without some sacrifice, and usually over a period of time. So yeah, without certain processes in place to help most of us, we're not able to maintain the effort needed to accomplish these outcomes. So again, why is it hard for us to be consistent? I'm going to answer again. It's hard for us to be consistent because we tend to focus on the outcome rather than the process. Let me put it another way. We're more drawn to the positive feeling, the good vibes of the outcome rather than the struggle of the process. See, and unfortunately, most of us quit. A lot of us quit during the struggle before we can actually experience the reward of staying the course. So naturally, after this discussion, or after that, you would say, how do I become consistent? Well, if you want to be consistent, if you want to achieve your desired outcome, you must build consistency into your plan. You know that popular saying, you plan to fail, you fail to plan? So now we're saying that in that planning, consistency must be built into your plan. Now, commit to the process you have identified for achieving your goal, and commit to that no matter how hard it is, no matter how you're feeling at any given day. Come rain, come shine, commit to it. Start with maybe small goals, something as simple as waking up 5-10 minutes before you have to wake up and getting up. I like the Mel Robbins, I think her name was Mel Robbins, her 5-second rule. A 5-second rule says when you wake up in the morning, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you sit up. You just get up. I usually do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I count backwards because I feel like it engages your brain, your mind, more. So you're more in the awake state. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you're sitting up. You're in the action, position, and you're ready to go. So start with something as simple as that before we move to the more complex things where you have big projects and the rest. So in this discussion of, the reason, it makes sense for us to talk about the how. How can you stay motivated when you're struggling? Because being consistent is not a problem when it's going easy, when it's going smooth. It is when you're struggling with it. So how can you stay motivated when you're struggling? I'm going to give you some really quick tips. Number 1, be present. Very important. Be present. In the simplest term, by being present, I mean being fully engaged. Being fully engaged in the task at hand. It means quieting our tendencies to waste mental energy, waste emotional energy, waste spiritual energy. We focus so much energy worrying about the past, worrying about the future. And unfortunately, none of these are things that we have any ability to control. But one thing we can control is the present, what we're doing. So focus on being present. Second tip is anticipate the dip. Most of us go into new projects, new endeavors, believing that the path to our desired outcome is straightforward and clear. This is amazing because we believe, even when we know better from past experience, that there'll be highs and there'll be lows. In his book, that's Seth Godin, in his book, I believe it was called The Dip, he said something. He said, anything worth pursuing has a messy middle. Honestly, if you ask me, I think he was thinking of a donut when he said that. But don't mind me. Yes, the funny thing about that is that it also, this phenomenon called the dip, it serves as a natural barrier to separate the quitters from those who will experience extraordinary success. Not that I'm saying quitting in itself, in its entirety, is bad, because I think part of the book also tried to identify when you should actually just let go of something and move on, so that's totally different. Okay, so let our desired outcome and our big why, let it keep you going when times get tough. Okay, let your why keep you going even in the dip. All right, anticipate it and move forward. A third tip, real quickly, is: are you uninspired? Do it anyway. You're uninspired, you're not ready to go and lose all that weight, hit the gym. You're uninspired, you're upset with your spouse, kiss her anyway, or kiss him anyway. You're uninspired, you're not ready to, work on that report, get a pen and start writing that report. You're uninspired, you're not ready to, sit in front of the camera and start recording, hit that record button and start recording anyway. Do it long enough and inspiration will come. Believe me, if you're able to just get up and do it anyway, long enough, inspiration is going to knock you off your feet. You won't believe it. So uninspired, do it anyway. Now, to the next tip real quickly, and I think this is very important. Find an accountability partner. This helps. You don't need to broadcast your project or whatever it is you want to do to the whole world, but you can select 1 or 2 trusted friends or family, share your goals with them, give them a timeline and ask them to hold you accountable. This is a real game changer for me. I have tried it. It works like magic. So you should try it. And then real quickly, the next tip, forgive yourself and move on. This is very, very important because failure, past failure is the reason a lot of us have been held down. Often, a lot of us beat ourselves up when we fail, we fail to follow through our plan. Some of us even resist getting goals or making plans. Why? Because we want to avoid the unpleasant experience altogether. But instead of avoiding, this reality, I would say understand that it's simply part of the game. Just understand that it will happen. It's simply part of the game. Dust yourself and get up. They say you fall 7 times, you get up 8 times. So it means you fall down, you get up more times than you fall. Bottom line, what I'm saying is this. Understand the path to your goal. Understand that it's not straight. Anticipate what Seth Gordon calls the dip. The setbacks, the lack of motivation, the unforeseen challenges. Decide ahead of time what you will do when the dip shows up. Now, if your decision ahead of time, ahead of the dip, is that you will quit, maybe you should pause on that project altogether until you make up your mind. Okay, but anticipate and decide what you will do when the dip shows up. If you want to be consistent, you need to decide. You need to decide to persevere through the unforeseen challenges, the mistakes. You need to decide to persevere through the dip. How do you do that? Well, on how to do that, I'm going to quote a very popular certain company, their slogan, just do it. See? Just go ahead and do it. I'm going to use the staircase analogy again in this one. The fact that there's magic in the first step. And then when you're climbing a flight of stairs, you don't necessarily have to see the top before you take the first step. You take the first step and then the next and then the next, even when you might miss your step on that flight and almost stumble. You don't stop there. You get up and you keep going. So it's the same attitude we're asking you to do here, where consistency is concerned. Like I always say, it might be difficult, but it's not impossible. So just do it. That's all we can take today. Thank you so much for being part of Faithlicious and Friends. As always, please remember, I'm waiting for us to discuss about this in the comment section. Now, how have you tackled the challenge of consistency, especially when things are rough, when things are tough? Is there a process that you use that we probably haven't talked about here today? Let's talk about that in the comment section. I'm looking forward to talking with you about that. So please, and I will answer every single person. But hey, most important, don't forget, if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe real quickly. But most important is that here on Faithlicious and Friends, we can discuss whatever it is you want to discuss. So in the comment section, if there's something you think you'd like us to talk about, please do go ahead and let's talk about that, okay? Well, that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much. As always, stay cool and keep it real.